family member that is going to benefit from the discussion that we're going to have right now, please feel free to share the link to this conversation with them so that they can join us and benefit with respect to what we are going to be discussing. Okay? And before we also start off fully, I would love to know you and where you are joining us. Okay, just type in your name and the location of where you are joining us from so that we can get the discussion started instantly. Okay, so let's do that within the next few minutes, and then we're going to jump into this discussion for tonight. I can see a lot of people already on the call. We have over 20 people on the call. We are still expecting more to join us. But while we're expecting them, please feel free to send in your name and where you are joining us from so that we can be able to have a more interesting discussion tonight. Okay, I can see Olubube joining from Abuja, Nigeria. Fantastic. Elizabeth from Nigeria. Stephen from London. We still have 2 Nigerians and 1 person from United Kingdom. Okay, so please feel free to type in your name and your location so that we can get the discussion started immediately. Okay, so we don't have enough time to be here today. Hannah from Canada, fantastic. It's good to have you on the call, Hannah. It's good to have you on the call, Stephen. It's good to have you on the call, Elizabeth, and also Olubebe. Okay, I can see others. Are you shy to introduce yourself? I mean, this is a discussion where I also get to, talk, and you can also, meet people that's from the same region with you. They can also decide to take on the journey with them as well. We have Kayode from UK, amazing. We have Kayode UK, Stephen London, Hannah Canada, and others from Nigeria. So we have Kwame from Canada also. So welcome. We have Chidubem Joshua. Okay, I don't think you typed in. You're okay from Nigeria. Fantastic. It's good to have you on the call, Chidubem. Okay. I think we're going to get started while we wait for others to join the discussion that we're going to be having right now. And the discussion is simple. Is preparing for the PM certification exam enough in 2025? What you need to know. So many times we decide to, let me pursue this certification, let me pursue this one, let me pursue several certifications that are out there. But is it enough for what you want to get in the end? Is that where you want to be? Is that how you want to be able to break into the tech industry? We are going to be discussing about it tonight. And I also want to know if you've been in any of our sessions before now. So for the people that have introduced themselves, please, if you've been in our sessions before now, you are able to type in any number. But if today is your first session, please feel free to type in a 1 so that I also know how I will direct our conversation for tonight. Okay, so if today is your first session, feel free to type in a 1. But if you've been in any of our sessions before now, please type any number as it pleases you. Okay, I can see Oma from UK, fantastic. Oma typed in a 2, which means she's been in our conversation before now. Amazing, Oma. It's good to have you on the call again. All right, I can see that we have close to 25 people, but you people are not giving me the vibes today. You people are not giving me the vibes. What's going on? Is it the economy? Why is everyone's so draw and not conversational with me? I can see Kayode a 1, Kwame a 4, Stephen a 1, which means we'll have a couple of people that today is their first time, and also a couple of people that have been in our sessions before now. So I have an amazing person that is also going to be in this conversation with me. In no distant time, I'm going to introduce him so that we also get to know whom our visitor for tonight is, that is going to also be telling us things that we need to know regarding if preparing for the PM certification exam is enough in 2025. And this is coming from a PMP certified person, so you can be able to know that it's fully loaded with respect to everything that we are going to be discussing tonight. I also want to, ask us one simple question. Do you have anything in particular you would love to take out from this session? Okay, so if you have anything that you want us to discuss, anything that you want to take out from the discussion tonight, please also feel free to type it in the comment section while I immediately drive the conversation for tonight. But I'm going to be looking in the chat box to know if there's a message for me, so that I'll make sure that we'll look through everything that you have identified that you want us to be discussing for tonight. Like I said earlier, if you know anyone that will benefit from our conversation today, please feel free to send the link to them, and also feel free to invite anyone, and make sure that you fill the attendance form, because that's what we are going to be using to send the recording of this session and also the slide that we're using for this discussion tonight. So if you want to have access to the slide, If you want to have access to the recorded version of this class, please ensure that you fill the attendance form, because that is what's going to make sure that we send it back to you once the session is over. So who are we? Who are we that is organizing this event? We are Analytics, and we are the leading educational technology company that helps people of the Black community to get the skills and break into the tech ecosystem. So it's simple. We equip you using the project-based model to help you learn the necessary skills that you need to land a role. Okay, all those experiences, all those interviews that you are seeing, and people are saying you need to have 2 years of experience before you get on a job. How do you get all those experience without landing a job? That is where we come in. We teach you the skills. We give you project-based learning for you to be able to land a job in the tech industry. And for the last more than close to 5 years that we've played in the industry, we've helped over 2,500 people to transition from our classroom into landing their first job in US, Canada, Europe, Africa, and of course, Asia. And our courses are concentrated on 8 basic career paths that we've identified to be the most in demand. And that is data science, data analytics, business analysis, data engineering, financial analytics, HR analytics, agile project management, Scrum, which is also the Scrum Master, and that is majorly what we are going to be talking about tonight, cybersecurity, and soon to come, AI engineering. And how do we impact this knowledge in people? So we have a team of instructors that come from leading companies, okay, companies like Deloitte, companies like KPMG, and so on and so forth, to come back to the classroom to teach you using the project-based model of what they are experiencing in real life, so that you will have an experience of what it means to be on that exact role. And this is how we've helped close to 3,000 people to transition from our classroom into landing their first role in tech. And you too can be the next person that we be able to take up this journey. And who am I that I've been speaking since? My name is Chukwemeka Ekpa, and I'm a technology business consultant with nearly a decade of experience in GRC and strategy consulting. Presently, I am the CEO of Analytics, who have guided more than 8,900 people without any technical background to break into the tech industry and land their first jobs. My experience spans across GRC, that's governance, risk, and compliance, in the banking sector, head of control in the fintech industry, data analyst also in the fintech ecosystem, and also a business consultant in the hospitality industry. I've worked across several sectors of the economy, financial sector, capital markets, hospitality industry, and also right now, educational technology sector. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn at Chukwemeka Ekpa, or Twitter at Emeka_Heist, or Instagram at Ekpa_Chooks, for us to be able to continue the discussion if you have a more personalized conversation that you want us to be having tonight. Okay, and like I also mentioned, I have a fantastic individual with me that is also going to be leading the discussion that we are going to be having. And that's no other person than Moses Joshua. Moses, I don't know if you are there to say hi to the house before I move on. Hello, Moses, are you there?
Yeah, hello everyone. Nice to be here to thank you guys today.
All right, thank you so much for that, Moses. So Moses is a certified senior project manager at Analytics, and he has several years of experience in project management, and is passionate about organizing teams and delivering impactful projects. So if you want to learn how to be able to deliver impactful projects, make sure that you listen to what Moses has to say to us tonight. And he's skilled in several tools, including Notion, Jira, Asana, Trello, and etc. Any tool they can think of that project manager should be using, he is skilled using all those tools. His whole certification in PMP, Google Project Management, AIPM, and also CIPM. So we're going to be hearing from someone that has been able to get the skills, get the experience, and also has the certification that you need with respect to breaking into the industry, for us to have a more holistic conversation around if and how approaching the PM certification should be necessary with respect to getting a job in any of the sectors of the economy. His experience spans across multiple sectors where he has applied his deep knowledge in product management. So please make sure that you stay on the call and listen to Moses lead us with respect to the conversation that we are going to be having tonight. Okay, and the main things that we are going to be doing is just 4. Okay, so there are 4 basic conversations that we are going to be having. First one is around certification and skills, project management and business analysis with respect to 2025. Certification and skills, PM and BA with respect to 2025. And then number two is the pathway to your tech career and landing your dream job. What's the pathway to getting your tech career and landing your dream job? We'll also talk to you about the growth internship program that Analytics organizes with respect to helping you to get the skills and the experience that recruiters need you to have before you can land a role. And lastly, we'll be talking to you about our exclusive discounted offer to you by virtue of you being on this call tonight. So we're going to dive into the discussion. Like I've said earlier, please make sure that you fill the attendance form so that you have access to the slide that we're going to be using for this conversation and also the recorded version of this discussion. So if your network disrupts at a point, or if you had challenges that threw you out of the call, can still have access to the slide and go through it and also listen to the recorded version of the conversation. Okay, I can see that Stephen dropped something in the chat, but he said opportunities for Scrum Master or PM internship / experience. Definitely, I'll make sure that we scratch that before this discussion is over for tonight. Now, let's jump into our conversation. How many of us saw the tweet that Elon Musk made yesterday? Because that is what is going to also base our discussion for tonight. How many of us saw the tweet that the richest man in the world made yesterday? All right, so it's simple. I've screenshotted it and I've attached it to this slide for this discussion. He said, if you are a hardcore software engineer and want to build the everything app, please join us by sending your best work to code@x.com. We don't care where you went to school or even whether you went to school or what big name company you worked at. Just show us your code. Okay, so this is what the richest man in the world posted yesterday, 8:09 a.m. Yesterday, he sent this. We don't care where you went to school or even whether you went to school or what big name company you worked at. So this is a powerful tweet, actually, that I believe is also already leading to how the tech industry is shaped. Nobody cares about where you went to school or whether you went to school at all or the big name company that you've worked at before now. What they want is just show them your code. And with respect to the tech ecosystem, with respect to agile project management or business analysis, ideally as well, people do not really care where you went to school. They don't really care the certification that you have. All right. What they want to know is what can you do? Okay. What can you do? What every company cares about today is what can you do? Do you have PMP? Do you have CIMPM? Do you have AIPM? All those certifications, any of them, what can you do? Okay, so if you are thinking that the era of certification is still what is powering the economy, you need to think again, because a tweet from the richest man in the world, when I saw it yesterday, I was like, oh, this is what we were actually talking about the day before. And now the richest man in the world has just been able to also make a tweet relating to what we are talking about. And that is simply the era of certification is over. Nobody cares anymore. Show your skills and also the experience that you have with respect to any place they are trying to get into. If you are looking to break into becoming a project manager, show your skills. If you are looking to break into becoming a business analyst, show your skills. So if there is something I want you to take out from this conversation today, I want you to take this home. The era of certification is over. Nobody cares anymore. What people care about is your skill and the experience that you are bringing to the table. Okay? What people care about is the skill and experience that you are bringing to the table. Now, ideally, also, okay, certification before skills is like putting the cart before the horse. Okay, and can we see my screen? If you are positioned to use your horse to drag your cart and you've placed your cart before the horse, do we think the cart is going to move? Okay, so this is a question for everyone on this call. All right, you've placed your cart before the horse. Do you think that the cart is going to move? Let me see and gauge how we also think. And this question is for everyone that's on this call right now. Okay, someone has placed a cart before the horse. Do you think that the cart is going to move? Wow, this house is very dry and not conversational. Are we still in 2024? Are we still in 2024? I can see, okay, I think people are now dropping conversations. Elizabeth said no. Kayode said no, it won't. It may move, but with difficulties. Fantastic. Ayedero. I hope I didn't murder your name. I'm sorry about that. Evelyn said no. Queen said following. Taiwo said no. And it's simple. If you place your cart before the horse, it can't move. Okay? And like Ayedero mentioned, even if it's going to move, it's going to be with difficult. For instance, if the horse decides to put its head and push the cart forward, definitely the cart is going to move. But if you look at the situation, the ideal situation for it to move is going to be the other way around. And this movement I just made can even cause it to have fatal accidents. For instance, if you're using your head to push the cart as the horse, it can cause injury to the cart. It can cause injury to what the cart is carrying behind the horse. All right. And this is what we do in the tech industry. These days, when we want to break into a career path, we pursue certification instead of getting the skill. Okay. And pursuing certification before the skill is simply like you putting the cart before the horse. Okay. Is it going to move you forward? That is not ideal. Even if it gets to move you forward, it can push you to injury to the horse or injury to the items the cart is being carried. So, first thing for you to think about with respect to breaking into the industry is get the skill and get the experience, land a role, and then pursue the certification. This is the ideal way for you to easily be able to break into the career path. I'm going to bring up Moses right now to drive the conversation with respect to if getting the PM certification is enough in 2025, what you need to know. Hi, Moses. I don't know if you are there so that I can take up the conversation from where I have stopped right now. The floor is yours.
Yes, thank you very much, Chukwemeka. Really glad to be here. Give me a minute. Let me share my screen so that we could follow.
All right. Okay.
Okay. Can you guys all see my screen? Give me a thumbs up or say something on the chat if you can.
Yes, we can.
All right. Thank you very much. Hello once again. My name is Moses Joshua. And first thing first, the first question I would like all of us to have at the back of our mind before the end of this course is prepping for project management SAT enough? We should all have this question at the back of our mind. Is prepping for PM certs enough? I'm going to ask us this question at the end of this section so that I hope you should have a good answer for yourself by then. So let's go into this. First, why certification matters. Fine, we all know that certification matters in those days whereby if you want to apply for a job, you need to have like a certain degree and you need to have like a certain grade in the degree. If you are scoring lower than a certain degree, you are not going to be accepted for the job, right? And for project management, we have several certifications that you can get. We have the PMP certification, we have the EMP certification, we have the CIMP certification, and so on. And these certifications are all good. They prove that you know what you know, right? But the question is this enough? Is this certificate enough to actually take you through this year, 2025? With the way everything is evolving and project management is evolving, do you think that a certification is going to be enough to actually take you through? Now, on that question, I would like us to ask ourselves, what else would I need? But before I move on, I would like to say Okay, certification exam actually prepares you for the basics. Certification exam prepares you for the basics, meaning, okay, I'll just cite a scenario here. Think of it like you're going for a driving test, whereby you'll be taught the rules, there'll be an instructor by your side, and then someone will be telling you, just do it like this. When you're on the road, you should use your two hands to hold the steering and all. But I'll ask us this question. Since all of us have actually ridden a car here or something, I hope all of us has done that. In reality, do you think it's that easy after doing all the this and passing the test in class? Do you think it's easy when you enter the road and trying to navigate? Can you guys just say what if it's easy or not on the chat? Is it as easy as it is when you were actually doing your tests? How easy was it? Scale it from 1 to 10. How easy was it when you were entering the road, when you're seeing a big truck coming by your side, left and right, or you are seeing a busy road, a blocked road, especially those that stays in Lagos. If you stay in Lagos, you know that the traffic or the road, if you don't know how to drive, it's something else. Okay, someone said totally different. Yeah, it's totally different because in reality, you actually be able to see all the flaws that are there. You'll be able to see, oh, more, this is not the only thing that is required. All my knowledge, all my books I've read is not doing justice to this thing I'm seeing on the road. That's what most people say. But with constant practice on the road, you'll be able to freely, if you're using two hands to drive before, you'll be able to actually use one hand when you have good experience in it. So the next we'll be talking about here is what are the skills that are needed beyond certifications? What are the skills? The first thing we'll need here is the practical experience. Practical experience is important in everything we do. Fine, you've gotten the certificate for driving, as the first scenario I stated. You've gotten your certificate. You are now a qualified driver. You have a driver's license, but you've never entered the road before. You don't know how the road is. What's the best way to actually experience this? Is practical experience. Without you staying there, without anybody by your side, saying much to you, holding the steering, and you're moving on your road, and you start getting the necessary experience that are needed. As I've said here, experience in real life scenarios are crucial since they can be different from what you learn in textbooks. According to what I've explained before, it's very, very different. Very different. When you enter the road, that's when you know that, oh, more, this is really serious. And with constant practice, you'll be able to continue driving with ease, without any issues again. And that example I will say here is knowing how to create a project timeline is great and all. We all know it's great to be able to create a project timeline. But in a scenario whereby your team miss a major deadline, what would you do? This is where your expertise come in. How would you handle this situation? The best way to do this is actually go to your risk management. And to learn more about this, you can just take a course at Analytics. We'll be able to teach you more about this on our course. But next thing you will need beyond certification is what? Using digital tools. We have several digital tools. We are going to whereby a lot of people are actually learning a skill, learning how to use different softwares. AI is taking over everything here and there. If you are still stuck in the timeline whereby you do things manually, you are lagging behind. You need to know the necessary tools for your skills. In project management here, we have different tools or different software we use. Softwares like Microsoft Project, Jira, or Asana. This helps us to actually track our projects and make plans for our project. So firstly, I would like to pick a software here to explain to us. But before I go on, I would like to talk a bit about what Scrum framework is. This is just to give us a sneak peek of what you're going to be learning in Analytics if you actually take a course with us. Firstly, what is Scrum framework? Scrum framework is just is like an it's just like an agile methodology or a framework that is used to actually break projects into smaller bits to be able to track the project successfully and deliver. That's just the basic definition of Scrum framework, to help us break our project down into smaller bits to help with ease of tracking. And we have several processes when it comes to Scrum framework, but I'll just be talking majorly on these three frameworks we have here. Firstly, I like to talk about the epic here. If you hear about epic, what actually comes to your mind? Epic. What comes to your mind when you hear of epic? Can anyone say in this channel or in the chat, what comes to your mind when you hear of epic? Anyone? Okay. Yeah, story. Yes. Okay, so I'll just explain to us here. In layman term, epic can mean something big, something massive, something that is happening. So, but in Scrum here, epic is talking about a bigger project or bigger tasks that have been broken down into smaller bits so that we can be able to track this project. That's what an epic is. As you can see here, it represents multiple features or many stories. All right, let me cite a scenario here so that we can understand what this is talking about, so I don't keep blabbing without any story behind this. So we're building a house, right? Let's take a scenario of us building a house here. We have a project of building a house, right? That's a big project. So when we talk about epic, epic is like taking a smaller bit of the project. Like, let's talk about the rooms. Taking a project, like breaking it down to rooms, different rooms. When you take the room, that's like a part of the epic, meaning that you can let me read what's here. You can take months to build and work on to build an epic, right? Epic can take different months to build, right? So as an example I've taken, you can either take the room or the kitchen to explain an epic. An epic is just like a smaller bit of the project in the massive project that is there, which is what? Building a house, right? Do you guys get what I explained there? Or do you want me to come back? Anyone get that? Or I should come back again to explain that? Okay, thank you very much for saying that. When you talk about epic, as I've said before, epics is a large project that can be broken down into smaller bits, right? So we have a house project, firstly, no doubt. The major task here is we are building a house, right? So to get the epic here, and we've said earlier that epic is breaking the project down into smaller bits. So now we want to design the kitchen. We want to work on the kitchen. I need my kitchen to have different things in it, like the gas cooker. I need it to have a heat extractor. I need it to have a refrigerator in it. I need it to have a slab in it. All these are included in the kitchen, right? All these are smaller bits of the project included in the kitchen. So that kitchen as a whole is the epic, meaning it's a smaller bit of the project. The whole project is the house, right? The smaller bit of the project is the epic. Is the room, sorry, the kitchen that I'm talking about. That's the epic. Do you understand me now? All right. Okay, let me just go on a bit. The next feature we have here is the next framework we have here is the future. Future is the smaller part. When you have an epic, right, you've already known that as I've started the first scenario, the epic is like the kitchen, whereby everything is included. You need different tasks to be done in the kitchen. You need to do the style the kitchen and all that. Those are the taxes that are inside the kitchen you need to work on. And in the house, you can have different epics, meaning it can be broken down into different phases of project. We can have the room also. The room also, it's one part of the project, which can be another aspect of the epic, maybe epic 2. And we can have the dining, we can have the parlor. All those are smaller bits of the project, right? All those can be classified as different epics. They can take several months to finish. Epics are not something that can be done in 2 or 3 days or a week. It takes longer time to actually do. That's why it's epic. It takes longer time to do. And the main focus of the epic is what the user tends to focus on. What is my actual goal for this? What do I want to design in this kitchen? What is my dream kitchen? Everyone have their own dream kitchen, how they want it to be. How do you want this to design? That's the major goal of an epic. You need to like summarize everything in a whole, how you want that design to be. So next I'll talk about is the future. Future is like a smaller bit, but it's bigger than a story. I'll get back to the story later on. Smaller bits of epic, smaller than epic, sorry. So now we have the kitchen as the epic. The next, so in the kitchen, we have other taxes that are there also. We have, if we take epic as the bigger one, take the kitchen as the bigger tax, we have smaller tax that are there. Example of the tax that is there, okay, I want to do a cabinet in the kitchen. That's another tax there. It's actually small, it's like a small tax inside the epic. So that's the future there. We have the cupboard. Okay, I want to design a cupboard and I want to design, I want to do the heat extractor, as I've said before. I want to work on the slabs and all that. Those are the smaller parts of the project. They are known as the features. And I'll explain the features here. There are specific functions inside the epic. There are actually functions inside the epic. Can anyone cite the example of what an epic can be in that kitchen scenario that I'm talking about? What else do you think that you want to put inside your kitchen, your dream kitchen that you want it to be there? What else do you feel it should be in the kitchen? Is anyone there? Anyone wants to try? Iceland. Okay. I don't really know what Iceland is. Okay. Any other reply? We have any? Kitchen Iceland, yes, can also be included there. Yes, we have the water. Okay, smoke extractor. Yes, we have smoke extractor. We have wooden floor. All these are the smaller. Thank God that all of you guys fully. Yeah, dishwasher. All these are smaller features that I need to be included in my dream kitchen. So those are what is known as the features. They are the smaller bits of the epic that needs to be done. And these are tasks that can actually take weeks. They can actually take weeks. They don't need to take, they are not as long as epics that takes months to do. Possibly 1 or 2 iterations to build. Meaning when they say iteration, meaning 1 or 2 tasks that are involved, breakdowns, 1 or 2 tasks, or 1 or 2 steps that needs to be done inside it. So it does not necessarily need to be cumbersome. There's no much work to be done there. But whereas in an epic, you have so many tasks involved inside an epic. But for futures, it's smaller bits of epic, meaning just 1 or 2 tasks, which will take probably a week, even days. Some people can do it in days, right? So next one we have here is the user story. This is actually important here. This is very, very important because for the user story, we need to know what our customers want for us to be able to know what they want to build, right? They are the smallest increments of value, meaning it takes days. Okay, let me explain this. For the cupboard now, let's cite the cupboard as one of the features in the kitchen. You cannot, and your carpenter, when your carpenter comes in and your carpenter wants to work, I tell him, I just want to build a cupboard, just build a cupboard for me. The carpenter can just decide to build anything and you might not be happy with it, or that might not be what you want. But when it comes to the user story, the user or the customer will explain in details how he or she wants the cupboard to be built, right? Okay, we have a scenario whereby, or we have a different kind of cupboard or different type of shelf, kitchen shelves and all that. We have some that has handle. We have some that can press and all that you have to just push it in and it will open, right? All this you need to let your customer, or you need to ask your customer how they want it to be built. If not, you might not know exactly what they want. This is why it is important to actually get in details what your customer needs to be able to satisfy them more. For this, it actually takes days, perhaps weeks, or a week or two at most to actually build. Meaning that this does not take much. All you need to do is, okay, you've gotten the design. Ask the person, what do I need to build? How do you need this style to be done? The carpenter, when the carpenter comes, you can say, okay, I want a 2-door cupboard, or I want a sliding door cupboard, or I want a cupboard that presses in, I need to press in to open. Those are your user story. You need to be specific on what you want design for your clients. The development team tends to be what development team tends to focus on. So this is the major thing, the developer or the carpenter. I'm using a carpenter here as a scenario because he's the one that is going to be handling this smaller part of the feature here. He's the one that is going to be handling this smaller task here. So we called him here and said, okay, this is what you're designing. So that's what he's going to focus on, all your explanations, write it down and all. If you don't give him what he wants to do, he will tend to do what you don't like. So when you explain to him and he does what you don't want, that means it's his fault, meaning that you did yours and he was not able to get it. So as a project manager, you should be able to know when to ask all these detailed questions to be able to provide good results, because that's the major goal of every project manager, to be able to handle projects from beginning to the end without any hiccups, to satisfy the customer. That's the end goal of, or the happiness of every project manager, to be able to satisfy every customer. And now I need to explain, how do we actually write an agile user story? How do we write an agile user story? Okay. Firstly, we define the end user. Who is the person that wants to use this product? What does this person want? So the scenario that we have here is, we're using the scenario of a mother and a child, right? We're using the scenario here. Give me a minute here. We're using the scenario of a mother and a child here. If we say the end user here is the mother. So we need to know who we want to serve to be able to create a good user story. Now we have the parents here as the end user. The next thing we'll be more specific about is what they actually want. What is the solution? What do they want? I used the scenario of a carpenter earlier, and the carpenter asked the clients, how do you want your cupboard to be, right? How do you want it to be? And the person explains, okay, I need a sliding cabinet that it's easy to slide, and a glass, you need to use a glass instead of wood, so that I can be able to see what's inside without opening the cabinet and all that. So that is you being specific on what you want. So these are the few questions you need to ask your client if you want to actually write a good agile user stories. And this will actually help you when you want to track your project. When you want to track this project, this will actually help you. So note all this point down. The first one is the end user. Define your end user. Who is this person you want to talk to? That's the first one. The next one is, what do they want? What do they want? Okay, the scenario here is citing. Okay, I'll use the scenario here to explain first. First, the end user here is the parents, right? And the second one that says, what do they want? It says here is, and her reply is, I want to check on my child, on my sleeping baby, without entering the room. Meaning that they want something to be installed. I don't know, can you guys remind me the name of the tool that is used to track a sleeping baby in the room, like a motion detector. Does anyone know the name here? Does anyone know the name? Nannycam. Thank you, Elizabeth. Nannycam is actually used to actually track the motion of a sleeping child in the room. So the parent might say, I'm tired of actually sleeping in my child's room. I need to sleep in my own room. And in that process, I also want to track the motion of my child in case he or she wakes up from sleep or has a movement. So that's why you install the Nanocam. I'm sorry. Is there anyone? Are you guys following me from beginning? Do you have any questions you'd like to ask before I continue? Seems like the talk is a bit boring. Do you guys have any questions? Do you need me to come back on anything? All right. All right. All right. Thank you. The next we have here is what? The next we have here is what? The benefits. What is the benefit of this? What will be the benefit, or what will your user gain from using your product? What will be the benefit of what you want to give your user? What will be the benefit? So the user, as we've said before, the user wants to install a Nannycam in the room. Why does the user wants this? Why? What's the purpose of installing this? So the first thing you need to know is the end user. Who is the end user going to be? Who is going to be using your product you are going to be building? The house you want to build. I'll use the house as an example also. The house you want to build, who is going to be using it? Is it going to be used as a hotel, or is it going to be used as a residential building or a workspace or something? Who is your end user going to be? That's the first question you should ask. The next is, what do they want? What do they want? Their wants. You need to know that. Why do they want what they want? Okay, well, then the next one is the benefits. What they want, how does it benefit? How using your products, how does it benefit them? What do they gain? And we say here, the main purpose of her installing the learning account is what? To actually know if he's safe without this, to actually know when he's safe without disturbing him. Meaning, if he wants to, if he's sleeping and the nanny cam wakes up, they should be able to track his movements and know, okay, well, has he woken up? Is he in trouble? Or does he need to feed or something? That nanny cam will be able to track the motion of the child. So that's the benefit of the project or the nanny cam the parents want, to be able to track the child, to know if the child is safe and without disturbing him. That's the main purpose of what they're trying to do. The next is add acceptance criteria. What determines the story as done? What do you actually need? What is the end product? First example here, we said alerts to be sent to the registered smartphone if there's a problem detected. So how do I know that this product is good? What is the guarantee that I can use this project, this product, this nanny can they are trying to build? What is the assurance that this is going to build? There are a few criteria you need to check out for, which is one, according to this here, you need to check the alert to be sent. You need to know when the alert is to be sent to the registered phone, maybe the mother's phone or the mother's phone, basically. So that's that. So in all I've been saying since, the top tips to create a good user story, one is to what? Develop a personal profile to visualize your end user, one. Next is to always write down the end user perspective, meaning that whatever the end user is saying, jot everything down. As a project manager, you should be able to note all the points down. That will help you come up with a good user story at the end of the day. The next is avoid adding technical details too early. If you end up adding much details or technical details. When you want to start writing your stories, you might forget the major things that are needed actually for the user story to be actually created. The next is, don't try not to add too many acceptance criteria. Let it be brief. What criteria needs to be, let your criteria be brief. Okay, I need this, I need this. Why do you need this? Okay, for me to accept this thing you are doing, I need to have like, I need to see this future there. I need to see this future there. It should not be too long. All this will be explained. You guys should, I know it's a lot of talk, I know, and I've been talking much since. I will explain this using a practical example as we go on. So the next one here is what? Keep story brief. Break them down. Breaking them down if need be. Meaning if the story is too long, break it down. Don't write an epistle. Nobody needs your epistle. All you need to do is write it down so that it can be followed, so that it can be understandable. That's the major reason that's one of the tips needed for writing a user story. Next is what? Make sure they meet your definition of done. When all these acceptance criteria are done, you can actually check them out. And when they are done, that's when you know that the product is actually done. Then you can now tick it. Do I still have to follow me here? Do anyone have any questions concerning this before I move to the next slide? Any questions from anyone? Okay, what aspect are you confused in so that I can rush back to it? Yerima, please. I don't know if I pronounced it well. Sorry about that if I got it wrong. What aspects are you a bit confused about? I don't know if you are still typing, but I'll keep checking the chat if there's any aspects you. Okay, I'll keep checking back. So let's go on as we wait for her to actually say the part that she's. Okay, the epic part. All right, let me explain it once more. Sorry. Let me explain it once more for a better understanding. Okay, I'll use designing a website, right? I'll use designing a website. When you want to design a website, you have different stages when designing a website. Okay, a client comes to meet you. I want to design a website, right? That is the task. I want to design a website to actually boost what's it called? What should I use? Let me use a food delivery website. They want to build a mobile app for food delivery. Maybe Glovo comes up to them and said, we need to build a mobile app design or a website that can be used for delivery. Maybe want to deliver food. That's the major attacks here. Build a website for food delivery. Build a website for food delivery. That's the task here. So now in this task, before this task go on, you have different things to be done on that. You have different people to work on that. You have different things to consider when you want to start planning this project. First is what? The UI designs, those people that are going to be working on the UI designs. The next is what? Front-end designs. The next is what? The back-end designers. And also, you're going to need people that are going to test this product. Each of these things that I mentioned now can be classified under epics, meaning that I've broken the task into smaller bits. Do you get the explanation up to that extent? Okay. Okay, someone said, what is Agile in basic term? Agile is simply the breaking down of projects into smaller bits to help with tracking, to make tracking of projects easier, to help tracking of project easier, managing the project, and also delivery of the project to be faster and easier. That's the basic term of Agile. Then we use different tools to actually do this tracking. Do you understand me, Aaron? Aaron, do you get that? All right, cool. So, okay, I'm already using cases to explain Oluwaseun. Do you understand what I? Okay, thank you for that question. You said Agile and Epic, are they the same? Basically, Epic is just under Agile. Or is under Agile, yes. Epic is under Agile. Epic is under Scrum. It's like a framework under Scrum. And Scrum is under Agile. Let me use an example of a big tree. You have the big tree, which is the Agile project management, and you have several methodologies under it, right? And Scrum is one of the methodologies under Agile project management. Under this Scrum is just like, let me see, Scrum is just like the branch of that big tree. Scrum is like the branch. And we have different things that helps us in Agile to actually make it Agile, which are broken down into smaller bits, which are the leaves. Let me use the tree. I'm still using this tree scenario, which are the leaves on the branch. As you can see, the the they have the big tree, which is the Agile, right? Agile encompasses of everything, including the Scrum, and we have other methodologies under Agile. We have the Scrum, which we are talking about here. We have Kanban and other ones also under this Agile here, right? And then Agile is now broken down into what we call okay, since we're talking of Scrum here, I'll take Scrum now. Scrum is a method or is like a framework under Agile, meaning it's like a framework that is used in Agile, which is like the branch of the three. The next is what? The Epic. Epic is just like a further breakdown of it. Okay, fine. You've known Agile now. How do I use Agile? Like, what are the steps to use Agile? That's where Epic comes in. Epic is actually holding everything. This is what will be represented on the software you're going to be using to track the processes. Do you get that? This Epic is actually housing different taxes or different issues inside. I'll explain this further when when I'm explaining the Agile platform software. Where does BRD comes in? In my office, I can say I'm on business side. Okay, where does I'm trying to get your question here. Where does BRD comes in? Because in my office, I can say I'm on the business side, and they will also want to use to draw a BRD before it gets to the Scrum. All right. I would like to explain this, but as I've said, today we'll be talking more on Scrum, right? So to get further knowledge on the BRD, you can actually take some courses, or we offer a course on Agile Project Management here in Analytics. So you can actually come in, take a course here, which will be breaking down into smaller bits and explaining to you intensively on all the processes that are involved. Exactly. All right. Okay, do we have any other questions? All right, cool. Do you have any other questions from anyone? Is everyone clear? All right, I'll take that as all the questions has been sorted. So this actually explains the framework here. Firstly, we have the epic here. Epic is a large story, meaning that is the whole story here, where epic are for stakeholders, users, customers. So everyone have access to epic. That's basically what it's saying. User story are for the team, meaning that all the things that was jotted down when the customers was explaining to you that, oh, I need this part of the cupboard to be like this, I need it to be sliding, or the scenario I cited with the mother and the child that wants to use a baby cam, that wants to use that. So all those things that the mother will be saying, okay, I need a cam to be able to alert me when the baby moves or when there's a motion in the room. All those are the user stories. And these are the things that the teams are going to use to actually create the user story on the software that we're going to be talking about later on. And this will involve the introduction under the Epic. It will involve the introduction, the product requirements, and then the design requirements. That is for the Epic. These are the things that it's going to entail. Next, we have what? The user story. So this is just a typical example of how to write a user story or a description for a user story. You put yourself first as the end user first, according to what I've said before. You put yourself as the end user, which is being the user here is what? A college student. So when you're writing your user story, you put yourself like that. Friend said, as a college student, note that down. So it makes you see the product from the college student perspective, meaning that you'll be able to handle it much better if you put yourself in their shoes. That, okay, how do this person that wants to design this, how does he want to design this? That's why you put yourself in their shoe. You now say, as a college student, what next would you want to do? You would like to what? See all the prices of my cart as I add items. Meaning that, okay, if you want to go to a supermarket and they ask you and you want to get something, maybe you have a budget of 30K or 10K or so, and you want to buy something. You want to like, I remember if you go to big supermarket like ShopRite and all, immediately they start putting counting your goods. There's a screen in front of you, right? That shows you the amount and it's calculating it. Immediately they are scanning the barcode on the product you are getting. You'll be seeing your price. And in a scenario whereby what's it called? The thing they are scanning is already more than your money. You can tell them, please hold up. Let me pay for the one that you have already scanned first. Because if you're already seeing the price of the thing you want to buy and you're already on a budget and you have the budget you want to spend, you can decide that, okay, that's enough. And you can be able to manage what you have. So with that, you've been able to solve the issue of why they need this. And the reason why is that so that they can fit everything in the budget, according to what I just explained now. That's the reason why they want this product, right? This will probably result in a cart summary near the shopping cart icon, meaning that at the cart icon, you'll be able to see everything you are getting. Okay, next, I'll be showing you a dashboard. This is like a typical dashboard of a Jira platform. I don't know, has any of you used Jira before? Has anyone used Jira before? Sorry. Okay, sorry, I did not see your question before. You said we can move to the practical. All right. Sorry, sir, I was not checking the time. All right. So I'll explain as we move to the practical, please. Ujungwa, please give me a minute. I think I'm way over time now. So let's just continue. I'll get back to your question in a bit. Or all right, cool. I think most of us already have experience. Some of us or most of us have experience with Jira. So I'll just go to the Jira part now and explain to you guys. So as I go on, if you have any questions, just put it here. All right, cool. I'll explain further here. All right, that's great. That's great. Oluwaseun. All right, let's move here. So this is like a dashboard here. So now we have a practical scenario we'd like to try out on our dashboard, which is here. They give us a case study, e-commerce website, product, that's what we want to build on. So this is like okay, if you see this now, this is a typical example of what an epic is. The whole product is an e-commerce website, but we want to build like a smaller part of the product, which is the product search feature. That is the part we're working on today. So they said the company is building an e-commerce website that allows users to search for products. The product owner has identified key requirements. Users should be able to search for products by name and filter the results by category and price. Now, here's the task that's being given to us. The business analyst has been tasked with breaking down this requirement into user stories and adding them to the product backlog in Jira. So our task here is what? To break down this requirement into user story. And here we'll have steps to create user story during backlog setup. And these are the requirements that are required to put on our backlog here. We have the BA has gathered the following high-level requirements from discussions with proud product owners and stakeholders. So these are the requirements that the user asks us to work on to set up on our backlog. One is what? Users should be able to search for products by name. One. Users should be able to filter results by category. Users should be able to filter results by price range. So these are the three things that we'll be looking at as we move on. So now let me move to the slide to explain this further. Give me a minute, let me switch my screen. Okay. All right. So can you guys all see my screen here? Can you guys all see my screen? I'm not seeing any hands. Can you guys still hear me? Am I still here? All right, cool, Nella. All right. So this is a Jira dashboard. For those who have not seen this board, this is how a Jira dashboard looks like. This is the Jira platform here. We have the timeline here. We have the backlog here. We have the board here. And these are the things we'll be using to track and all other functions that are included here used for the Jira platform. So here I've taken the liberty to put in all the things that we are required to put on the backlog here, which is what? To search for products by name here, search for the results by category, then search for results by price range. So these are the things I put in here. So first thing first, I would like to show those that can't create a project on Jira on how to do that. Firstly, if you want to start a new project, because I've already created this, let me just show you guys how to create from the scratch here. So you come here, you click on this project, then you come to what? Create a new project. Then a page opens for you like this, and you have different templates here to use when you want to create a project, different templates. But since we're talking about Scrum, we'll use what? We use the Scrum here, Scrum for Jira. I'll use this template here. So now they ask us the next question, team manage or company manage. So since this one is for when we are working with a company and they already have a Jira account and you want to like work with them. But since this is for our team that we're working with, we can just pick for the team manager, select team manage project, since we are the one going to be handling this dashboard. So select this here, and then we'll give a name for it. So I've already created one here, which is for the e-commerce website when I was trying to put it in. So the next one I'll create for is like practice class or a demo class here. And then I'll put this as what? Private. Only admins have access. And this key here says DC, meaning that Jira actually shortens whatever you put in here, the name. It's too long, so it's reduced it to initials. So the key always represents initials for the name that has been put above. So we have demo class here, and it puts it here as DC. So anywhere along the project you see DC, you should know is the name of our project here, which is demo class. So you can create it using this here. So with this, we've been able to create a new dashboard or a new board for this new project here. This here is the board that is going to be using to track the project as it's going through. This is the backlog where you put your user stories here. And then this is the timeline for the project that tracks the timeline for the project. So since I've already created this, and for this also here, this is where you can actually assign team you want to work on the project. So you just click here. If you know the email of the person, you can just put the email here, type it in here, and an invite will be sent to the person's email, and the person will be able to click on the email and then join automatically. So that's for that. So I'll just move to here is where you see your dashboard here. Create your dashboard to track the project. So I'll just move back to the e-commerce websites I've already created earlier, which is this here. Okay, so here is it. So I'll go back to our backlog, because backlog is where I put all the user stories we're going to be working with here. I click it on. All right, so we are back to this page. So the first thing I would like to talk about is these are the list of, this can be more, this can be way more. We can have so many backlogs here listed up to 100. Like the picture I showed you guys earlier on the slide, can have several backlogs here. But one thing is, how do you want to track all this? How do you want to like know the categories that each of them are falling? That's where Epic comes in. Epic helps us to group this project into categories, right? So if we have this, and this, we can just group them into one epic, meaning that, okay, like the example I cited earlier that said the kitchen is like an epic. Let's take the kitchen like an epic. And we have different tasks in the kitchen, which includes installing the smoke extractor, installing the what's it called, refrigerator, the slab, wooden floor, and all that. Those are like the what's it called? What was the word we used earlier for that? Those are like the features that are involved in the epic. So okay. So now let's move right into it. So for the first one that said here, they said search for products by name. So here I've already taken the liberty to put in every details that we need here, but I'll show you guys how to do that. The first thing first is, if you want to create an issue, this is where you put all the issue in the backlog, or what you want to work on, the different epics, the different features you want to work on. This is where you put everything. And this is also where you group them. So if you want to put an issue here, maybe there's a task you want to work, this is where you create. You just click here and then you create, let's say, demo class, and you create this. This has been created here as one of the issues to be tackled. But if you notice here, there's no epic in here. It has not been put under any epic, meaning it has not been grouped under any category. It's just standing on its own. But if you look at all the ones I have here, these first three, they are under one epic, which is what? The product search. So our major tasks, and as I've said in the when I was reading the scenario, I said every other thing they want us to work on, it was on the product search. The major thing they are working on is the e-commerce website, but the epic they are working on, or they want us to work on, is what? The product search, to be able to use the search bar, everything concerning the search bar. So that is the part that we're working on, and that part we call it an epic, which is the smaller bit of the, or a part of the project, a part of the bigger project. So now let's dive right into it, where I'll show you the user flow and how to fill this. First thing here, we have the words. So I'm taking the first one here, which is what? The search for products by name, which is the first one here. And also, I forgot to say, please. So in case you want to add this to like an epic, okay, let me create multiple ones here. I create another one, practice, and I send this in. And we want to add these two we just created newly into an epic. We want to group them into an epic so that they don't scatter around. In case of if someone wants to come to our dashboard and see what's going on, how are the projects going on, they will not see scattered projects all around without any place they fall in. So the best, because as I've said before, if you're handling a very complex project or a very big project that changes frequently, or that you have to make changes every time, you have to be able to, you'll be putting it every time in here. And if you don't group them into epics, you will not be able to track most of them, because it will be listed like this and you will not know the categories they fall in. So if you want to group this into epic, there are two ways to do that. You first of all come here, create an epic. And if you want to create the epic here, these are the epics we have. This is the name of the project that we're working on. And this is the epic here, the issue. And then you come here and you can also change this depending on what you want to do. The issue can be changed to either tags, a bug, story, depending on what you want to work on. But since it is epic, you just click here and it's epic. It will be on epic, meaning that all other stories can be under this epic. So now you just put a name for your epic. Let's say instruction. Let's say instruction for class. Instruction demo. Let's put it like that. Instruction demo. I will click create. I will create this. We'll get a notification here that we've created an issue here. This is the name of the issue, which is just an initial of what the project is, which means e-commerce website. That is what the ECW means here. And this 14 is the number of issues that has been created inside this backlog. So you can actually change the name depending on what you want, but this is the initial name that has been put here. So this issue has been created. After this issue has been created, the next thing you do is come to this place here. You come to the plus here. There are two ways to do it. You come to the plus here. There's a plus here that says epic. You click here and you can now pick the epic you want to add, which is what instruction demo we just put in here. You put the next one also into the instruction demo. And now you've grouped these two into, you put them into an epic, which is the instruction demo. Do you guys understand me so far? Do you have any questions? Yes, we have several applications aside from Jira. We have Asana, we have there's a new one, linear.app also. These are all we have Trello also. These are all softwares you can use to track projects. Do you understand that, Oluwaseun? Okay, does anyone have questions so far before we move on? Any questions so far? If there's a yes, if there's a no, so that I can move on, so I'll know that I have people following me here. Hello. Okay. I just joined to be fair. All right, that's fair. You can just follow. All right, cool. You can just follow with the you can just follow with the practical class as I'm explaining. I think you should be able to get what I'm saying. And also there is a recording at the end of the class. You can just put in your email and the recording of the class will be sent to you so that I can go through it and then know what has been done in here. So now we've explained how Epic works and how to create an Epic in Jira. And also we've created how I've shown you guys how to actually create add people or teams to your project here. So the next we'll be talking about, we'll be going deep into each of these issues that we have here. So I'll click on the first issue we have here. A pop-up comes on by the side here. These are all things we can actually fill in when we want to work. Sorry. So first thing first here, we'll come to the description. My description. Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay. I'll use this as an example here. Okay, first thing first, I said when using the example here, firstly, we have to put ourselves in the user scenario. Put ourselves in the user scenario. How do we want the project to be like? First thing, we have our description here. We need to put in the description for the project. And let me explain a little bit of all these things we have here. Okay, let me quickly round up so that sorry, Chukwemeka. Let me quickly round up. So this is where we'll put our description that I've been explaining earlier. Firstly, we'll put ourselves as the user. As a user, what do you want? What do they want for? Because this section we are in is the words, the search results category. That's the part I'm talking about here. For this part here, we have words. The description will start from what? As a user, what do you want as a user? I want to search for results by category so that I can refine my product based on specific product type. Meaning that firstly, you know that you are putting yourself as the user. So you should be able to have an idea of what the user wants. And what does this user want? They want to be able to filter search results by category. That is what they want. And why do they want to do this? What is the main purpose of doing this? So that they can refine the product search based on specific types. Meaning that if I want to search for, if I go to a platform whereby like Amazon or AliExpress, I want to search for like a bag or sneakers, you can just go there, search for shoes. When you search for shoes, it has different categories also. You can decide to search for a brand of shoe, maybe sneakers or Nike, and all the categories under Nike will come up, right? So this is helping you filter out all other shoes that are available and bringing out only Nike shoes, right? And the next thing we should note here is the accepted criteria. What will make the client okay, will say, okay, this product is good, I want to accept this. Meaning that firstly, it says user can actually select category from the filter option and see only relevant product. Meaning that if I click on the filter, if I use the filter button and say, okay, filter out all the other shoes and just leave only Nike. So that means you have done this category for the client and customer. They've been able to filter all other shoes apart from the Nike you want to put in there. With this now, you know that the first category is done. And then the next one is what? Category filter updates. Immediately there's an update. Okay, I'm scrolling through and then I don't need to be going back and forth to refresh my page up and down. So the page should be able to, this down acceptance category now is saying the client wants the page to refresh automatically, meaning as I'm scrolling, the page should be refreshing, meaning more shoes should be coming up. I don't need to be going back and forth to be checking for, okay, well, has the shoe finished? Is there more shoes? This should be able to bring up more shoes for us. Sorry, I'm rushing. I think it's almost time here. So now, we've done this now, and I'll explain, the next I would like to explain to us is what? The next I would like to explain is how to put in child issues. Oh, sorry, let me don't say it like that. Now we've done this. The next thing is, who do we assign this task to? Who is going to handle all these projects? You already have your team in here. So how do you give them these tasks to do? That's when you say, this is the user story. So this will help your team or the developer that is coming in to say, okay, fine. I've read this thing and I understand what they want to do. So the next thing you do is come here, you add an issue, child issue. Meaning when they say child issue, it means like a smaller task, like what you want the developer or what you want them to actually design. That's why you come here, you click on the child issue here. And when you click on the child issue, you now put the task you want them to work on. Okay, what task do I want this designer to do? Firstly, you check what is required. Okay, we want to add filter. We want to add search filter result by category. Firstly, you come here, you put front end, or just use front end development for search for the filter category. So with this now, you've already created tags. This now will be creating a tags for the front-end developer in your team. You just click here and you create the tags. So this child issue is known as a smaller tags inside this issue that you're working on. So now to assign this tags here, you come here, you assign this tags here to who you want to assign the tags to. Click on this place. Since I'm the only one on this place, I'll just click my name here and the task has been assigned to me, meaning I can actually work on this task when I'm done. So do you guys understand this up to this extent? This here is saying, for here, we have different options here. We can add, if there's a document you want to include here, instead of typing everything here, you can attach a document here instead. This child issues is to actually create a to-do task or to-do list for the person that is going to be working or in charge of this part of this project, right? And link issue, if you want to link another issue from one part of the project to this part, maybe there's another similar task that is similar to this, you just link this to that one here. Here, you just search for the issue and you link it with it. That's what it's saying here. Then the next one we have here is what? Web link. So these are things we can actually add to our category here or our issue here to actually create it. Now, when we are done with everything we want to add, when we are done with adding all the issues and adding everything, what is the next step to do? And the project is about to start. What do we want to do? We'll have to move this backlog now. Everything has been planned here. Everything has been plan. The next is how we're going to execute this. And when we're executing, we'll have to move the task we are executing to the sprint section. And you can move it to the sprint section. When you move to the sprint section, meaning that you're about to start the process. So to move to your sprint section, you click here. You click here. There are two ways to actually move to your sprint section. You either click here. You can either drag it from here. Sorry, I'm opening this one. Just click here and then drag it. You drag it and put it up here. Here is where the sprint section is. Or you come here, create a sprint, not create. Sorry. You come here, click here. Oh, I don't miss this part. All right. I think the best one to do is just to drag it and put it up here. Just drag it and put it up here. It's either you use this part here, checkbox here, to drag it up there, or you use the checkbox. So you can do this with multiple. If you have like several ones you want to move, to the check clicks or to the sprints, you can click them several times and then you drag them and move them up there. But since we are not moving this one here, we're only moving the search product search, which is this Epic. You just click on it and then you move it up there. So now these are the ones left. Don't forget, we cannot put every project. We cannot put every project in. We cannot put every project in the sprint at once. We can't put every project in the sprint at once. All we need to do is pick the ones we need to pick and then leave the rest. So now we've put the things we need here. Sorry, I still removed this one here. Sorry. I'll uncheck all this. And then this is the last one we'll be moving to the sprint. So we've moved all this to the sprint here. So the next thing we'll do is if we want to start the sprint, to make all of them start at once, you check all of them here and then click on what? Start sprint. When you click on the start sprint, it pops up here and you can decide to change the name of the sprint here. These are the details you just fill. Put in demo class or demo section here. So when we put this, the next one we'll put here is what the duration, which can be 2 weeks or more, depending on the time you want the project to be. And you can add the end date for this here. You can put the end date here and the sprint goal. What is the end goal for this? To what? Create a catalog or create a filters category. Create a filter category. Category. And then when we're done with everything, we can now what? Start the sprints. And okay, so when we start the sprints, everything will be moved to the what? We'll move to the board, which is the to-do aspect. So we moved from backlog to the to-do aspect, to the to-do section. So everything now, we know that this project is about to start and everything has been moved here. This is the board that will be used to track all the existing project that is going on. So all these projects, for it to be moved to this to-do, everything has been assigned to someone. So I'm the only one here, so that's why it's just here. So I'll just pick myself for this here. So we have this. So if you start a project, or one of the team, okay, let me say I start the project, I can move mine to here, which is in progress here. And then You can also check the people here that have not started their projects, if they can reach out to them or be able to track the projects with them and let them know that the project is already on board, that they should go and work on their project. So if I'm done with my project, I can decide to move it to what? Done here, to show that I'm done. And this board is not fixed. You can change it to whatever you want. To do to here, you can change it here, change the name and put something. Put maybe can put anything, maybe ready to go project, ready to go. But the major thing you put here to this, all this thing is for easy tracking. So whatever you're putting here is something that should be something that anyone that is coming to this board will be able to follow or easily know that, okay, this is what you're talking about. So this ready to go, does it actually speaks to what you want to do? Does it represent this to-do list? So you can decide to do that. So let me just change it back to the to-do list that was there. To do. So now this is easy to know that, okay, these are the to-do things that are left to be done. Then if you start working on it, you can move it to in progress. Then the next one is done. But you can have other section here also, which can be created using this place here. And you can then add it here, probably waiting for a review, awaiting review. You can use it to create it here. So this so now our waiting review has been created. So you can delete anyone here and then replace with anything you want to work on. So it all depends on your own work you want to work on. So you can also, when you've put everything here, for minimum smaller ones that are coming up, you can decide to just create an issue here also. Can easily create an issue here also. Fix bug. So you know that this is already on the sprint, but you can change other things here if you want to change it. But since our time is already up, I will not want to delay us any further. If you notice, this one I just created does not have any, does not belong to any epic because I did not include it to any epic. I just wrote it down here. If you want to work on it, you just click on it here and a board will come up by this side here. And then you can fix everything you want to fix here also. Add it, add everything you want to add, move it to do, and everything will be done here. But the only issue is for the epic. So this is how you can actually edit this here. And if you want to also add epic to it here, you can just come and put it under any of the epic category you want to put it on. Let me just put it under product search here. So now, if you can see, the fixed bug now is under the product search for the epic product search. So okay, and also if you look at this part that is saying done here, you see that this epic, this section has been cancelled, meaning that I'm done with this here. That's why it cancelled it out. So if you search for it, it's no longer going to be ready. It's going to be showing done. So that's basically everything or the major things you'll be needing for your project when you're working on it. This is the backlog for the ones that are left. This is the backlog for the ones that has not been fixed yet. This is the sprint. And if you want to have multiple sprints, you can create multiple sprints and work on them simultaneously. This is the timeline that actually tracks the different sprints that has been created. So this one here is showing that this one has started. This is the only one that has started here. It has been created. One has been done. So meaning it's remaining 3 because it showed here, when I put you see here, 1 out of 4 has been done. That means 1 has been done, remaining 4 tasks under it. Here, nothing has been done. That's why there's no green part here. So this board is used to just track the sprints that are available. This is the backlog to check the to-do list. And then this is the board to actually move the projects to different categories. All right, guys. Does anyone have any question?
Thank you
Sorry.
so much, Moses. Thank you so much. I think you've done fantastically. You've done more than what we planned to do tonight, all right? And it's really amazing. And to everyone on the call, you'd agree with me that sometimes it's hard for you to learn all these things we are talking about under one sitting. So the tech environment is not something you catch up easily. It's not something that first class you're already getting everything that you need. And just to also add a little bit of things to what Moses have said, the tech industry requires you to actually also take practical steps to what you want to land into. All right, that you want to get into the tech industry, you will not be able to get every single thing under one city, which is why there's a structured curriculum to take you from level 1 to level 2, and from level 2 to level 3, from level 3 till you get to the final stage of where you need to be. So for this class, this is a class that we have holistic approach to. So you may not actually be able to get everything that we're talking about under one sitting. But once you join our program, definitely you are going to be shown how to learn all these things from one step to the other. From one initial step, you move to second step, and then to the last stage. Okay. So Jira, Trello, Confluence, they are part of the tools that we also handle in the classroom. So thank you so much, Joseph, Moses. I don't know why I always call you Joshua. Thank you so much, Moses. All right. And I'll take it up from here. So according to what Moses have shown us tonight, certification is very important. But one thing that is also very needful is skill and experience. And if you're looking to break into agile project management or business analysis, Jira is part of the tools that you need to be able to know how to make use of. So if you have PMP, if you have CIPM, if you have AIPM, if you have any single certification that you can think of, but you do not know how to track projects using Jira or using Confluence or using Asana or how to use Notion, then there is still need for you to improve with respect to your digital skill. And that's one thing that we are here to fill for you. Okay, we provide with all those skills and experience that you need with respect to breaking into the tech industry. And also, part of the things that you need aside all this digital skill includes soft skills, that is leadership and communication, problem solving skills as well. Okay, these are things that is going to make you a full-fledged person. So just to conclude everything that Moses have said before I move into how you can be able to break into the tech career path, certification is your endpoint, all right? It's not the beginning point, okay? It validates the skills and the experience that you already have. So if you don't have a skill and you don't have any experience and you are looking to break into the tech industry, it's important for you to make sure that you get the skill and the experience. Then certification is there to validate what you already know. I hope we all got what I just mentioned tonight. So if you didn't get everything from all the things of the same since 2 hours, close to 2 hours ago, get this. Certification is your endpoint. It is not your beginning point, all right? Because it validates the skill and experience that you already have. I hope we still have people following us to this very moment, okay? I hope we still have people that are following us to this very moment. So I have one key question for everyone. So if you're still following us, please just type in any number in the comment section so that I'll be sure there are people that are still under the influence of our voice till this very moment. Okay, I can see a couple of chats dropping in. Can see Omar drop a 2, Aida drop a 5. Omar, is like 2 is your best number because I know the first time that's the same number that you dropped in this comment section. Aaron drop a 7, Elizabeth a 3, Uluwatobi a 1. Fantastic. 2 is Omar's best number. So quickly, I'm just going to ask a question. So for everyone on this call, have you already selected a career path that you want to move into? Is it business analysis or agile project management? So I'm asking with respect to these two because these are people that are going to be utilizing Jira with respect to their skills and experience for them to land a role. So between these two courses, which one do you intend to move into? Business analysis or agile project management? Let me see people that have already selected a career path they want to transition through. Okay, Chuma is typing a Germany. Okay. I said typing anything that you want to type in. Fantastic, Chuma. All right. So at this point, let me see. Okay, Ken said cyber. Amazing. Ken said cyber. Okay, fantastic. Right, for other people that have a career path different from what we have on our screen tonight, so we are concentrating on business analysis and agile project management because these are people that relate to PM career path. These are people that also need some of those certification later on in life, all right? So that's why our main concentration for tonight is basically on business analysis and agile project management. And I'm going to explain both of them in the next few minutes for us to also be able to get full understanding of whom these guys are. Okay, but first, let me also give a little bit of background. So for agile project management, you can see clearly that it's a skill that is also in high demand in the US. Okay, so this doesn't mean that it's not also in demand in UK or in Canada or in Africa or anywhere that you are joining us from. This to also highlight to you that if agile project management is in high demand in the US, it is also in high demand every other place. Okay, so if you are still thinking whether it's a career path that you need to also delve into, then you have your confirmation tonight. So how do I get started? How do I select the right career path for me? So what we do here at Atlantis is basically before each year, we look at the World Economic Forum reports to analyze several reports. But before then, we bring out all the job boards, LinkedIn, Indeed, Glassdoor, Total Jobs, to analyze the highest jobs that were posted for that year. Okay, and once we've analyzed all the job posts, we pass them through three basic data analysis, and that's ease of learning, ease of transitioning, and high rewarding salary. Okay, which of those jobs that were posted those years have the ease of learning or meet the criteria for ease of transitioning or high rewarding salary? And from there, we're able to come up with all these 8 career paths that we can see. But ideally, we're discussing business analysis and agile project management tonight. We can also see data analysis behind the scene, data science, data engineering, cybersecurity, financial analytics, HR analytics, because these are also courses that we offer. But clearly, we are here to talk about business analysis and agile project management. All right, so after looking at all these 8 career paths, next thing that we did is to validate whether these career paths are going to be in demand in the next coming years. Okay, so there is this report that we call the WEF report, World Economic Forum report. So this is a report where economic leaders come together, world powers come together to discuss several things. So under that same forum, there is a particular segment for the future of jobs. And you can clearly see the jobs that they identify that will be in high demand. So if you look at the jobs on this left-hand side, you will see the jobs that will be in high demand. If you look at the ones on the right-hand side here, you see the ones that will decline. So ideally, let me identify it like this. These ones are going to grow. These are jobs that will grow. Why these ones are jobs that will decline. So if what you are doing is still on the right-hand side, that means you need to find a way to move to the left-hand side. And you can see a couple of courses there: AI and machine learning, sustainability specialist, business analysis, information security, which is fully important. But like I mentioned, we are talking about business analysis tonight. And you can see process automation specialist. Okay, process automation specialist. So if what you are doing, if you want to break into a career path that will also be in demand in the next coming years, then you need to look towards process improvement, process automation specialist, which is the business analyst. I think I clicked on the screen and it's taking me to the report. So you can also, when you fill the attendance form, when you get the slide, once you click on the report, it's going to take you to the World Economic Forum page, and you can now personally go through it and see and read everything that was said in that report specifically. All right, so if you move to the next page, you're also going to see Agile Project Managers, Scrum Masters as part of people on the left-hand side of jobs, which means they are amongst the people in the side of jobs that is going to be in high demand. Okay, their job is going to be in high demand. And for the people on the right-hand side here, their job is going to decline. So people here, their job is going to decline. So if what you are doing is around accounting, if what you are doing is around compliance, if what you are doing is around auditing, simply means that you need to move to the part of the job that's also going to be in high demand. And this is simple. Some of the jobs on the right-hand side, that are jobs that can easily be replaced or jobs that can also be easily automated. But the ones on the left-hand side, the ideal thing is for people moving into it to get the skill and the experience, and they are going to get right into that role. So you can easily see that agile project management, business analysis, that are part of the jobs that will always be in demand. Now, when you move into business analysis or agile project management, it doesn't mean that you are only going to be a business analyst. You can see a lot of roles under business analysis that you can also delve into. Think like process analyst, business systems analyst, functional analyst, requirements analyst, so many roles and so much more. Same thing with agile project manager. Okay, you can also become a scrum master, you can be a lean agile coach, can be an agile coach or a project scrum master. So many roles also assigned towards that career path. So those key points, business analysis and agile project management, are just merely the main headings, but there are so many subheadings, which means so many career paths that you and I can easily break into. And it is simple for you to get this job. One is for you to learn. Two is for you to package yourself. And number three is for you to apply. So learn the in-demand skill. Two is to package yourself with respect to CV optimization, how to be visible on LinkedIn as well, and then apply aggressively. Okay, and then the last thing is for you to land a role. So all these things always seem impossible until it is done, which is why we have a lot of success stories of people that have been able to make all this switch. You can see Ikmat. Ikmat moved from being a full-time stay-at-home mom to landing a role with NHS that is all fully visa sponsored. Same thing with Ramas. Ramas moved from being a customer success person into landing a role as a business analyst with also the NHS in UK with full visa sponsorship and others. Okay, Tony moved from a pharmacy background into the tech ecosystem. This is to show you that it is very much possible, no matter the career path that you are coming from. Okay, so I may not be able to go through all the success stories that we have here, but please ensure that you fill the attendance form that my colleague Yanoluwa is dropping in the chat in the comment section. Once you fill it, you have access to the slide that we're using for this discussion and also access to the recording of this class. So personally on your own, you can click individually on what all these people had to say with respect to their own experience and be able to leverage it to break into the tech industry as well. But you'll be asking, how did these people, how were they able to do this with the help of Analytics? So we use 6 simple steps to make sure that people move into the tech industry. And number 1 is for you to identify your desired tech career path. Number 2 is for you to learn the skill that is relevant to this path they are trying to get into. Number 3 is for you to gain project-based experience. Okay, so let me identify it for us. This is number 1, where you have to identify your own career path. This is number 2, where you have to learn this skill. And this is number 3, where you gain project-based experience with respect to breaking into the industry. And this is number 4, where you gain employability skills. And then 5 is for you to network. Networking is very, very important in the tech industry. Number 6 is mentorship. So with these 6 simple steps, you can easily be able to celebrate on this last role that you have gotten a job. But remember, first thing is for you to identify your desired tech career path. Then number 2 is for you to learn the skills that we teach with, which is a blended approach, a self-paced model, and also a live instructor-led class where you can ask questions. So the same way Moses was talking to us today and people were asking him questions, that's the same way that you get to be in class and also get to ask your facilitator question. And then you are learning using project-based experience. Each topic that you will have in class, you have a practical approach to it that you are going to be learning with, meaning you'll be working on projects. And this is simply how you get to build your experience level without landing a job yet, okay? Then number 4 is to gain employability skills, CV review sessions, LinkedIn optimization, etc. Then networking. By virtue of you being in our class, we've had instances where one student moved into a role, and right there on the job, there was another vacancy, and he referred another student. In fact, yesterday, someone reached out to me on Instagram and said, oh, I have a training requirement in London that I need someone that is advanced in Excel to take that class. And what I did was simple. I went to our alumni class, alumni session, where we have people that have finished from analytics and simply asked, who is in London and can take advanced Excel training. A lot of people DM'd me, and I sent their portfolio to the recruitment agency, and simply they just did their interviews today, and we're expecting to definitely one person will get on those roles. So this is the importance of networking and also mentorship. Mentorship is critical with respect to you breaking into the tech career path. So I have one question for you. We have two people. One is a graduate from Harvard University, mechanical engineering. Another person is an experienced mechanic that worked on Toyota, Aston Martin, Benz, Volkswagen, and your car spoils. Whom are you going to give your car to repair for you? The person with a degree from Harvard University Mechanical Engineering, or the person that is showing you, oh, this is my mechanic workshop. Bring your car, let me repair it for you. Let me see what people have to say, okay? Who are you going to give your car to? Quickly, who are you going to give your car to? Just type it in the comment section so that we can also move on instantly. Okay, just type it in the comment section. I did said Meko. that's the first time I'm seeing someone call them this. Fantastic. So ideally, Idero said that he is going to give his own car to Emeko. And Yerima said the same thing, the experienced mechanic. Aaron said the same thing, the experienced person. Now, why are you pursuing certification instead of the skill and the experience? It's also relatable to what we are doing now, okay? Can see someone with zero experience in project management, zero skill in project management or business analysis, and what they will tell you, you want to pursue CBAP, I want to get PMP, I want to get this, I want to get that. They are nice to have. But the first thing that everyone is going to look for is what are the skill and the experience that you have. Okay, what can you do with respect to this industry? And that is where your portfolio comes in. So no matter the career path that you want to break into the tech industry, you need a portfolio to show evidence of things that you've done. So the same way that the mechanic can show the workshop as evidence of jobs that he's been able to do in the past, that same way that you need to also build a portfolio to show evidence of things that you've also done in the past. Now, what skills do you need for you to land all these roles? First, let me explain who a business analyst is. These are people that their responsibility is simple. They come into the organization to improve the existing processes, okay, and identify points that solutions need to be deployed to, okay? So there are professionals who analyze the organization's business, processes, systems to identify improvements and solutions to those challenges, okay? So for instance, let me paint this scenario. You run a shop where you sell bags, ideally. And for customers to get order from your shop and be delivered to them, it takes them around 3 days. The process is simple. Customer orders by calling, someone has to manually write it down, scan through the notebook to check if it's available. Another person has to start, print the order detail, go to the store to check if the item is there, pick it up, and then it has to be shipped. A courier has to pick it up before it gets to you. And for this initial state, it takes them 3 days for this order to get to you. But a business analyst have looked at the process and said, how do we improve it and make it better? And she or he have identified a new process, and it's simple. First is customer orders online. Then they've already integrated order management system into their business. That once this order is made, it's the OMS receives the order and automatically updates the inventory. Okay, same thing, the order details are automatically also generated and the shipping labels are auto-generated as well. So the scheduled pickup is now scheduled and the courier picks it up and it's dropped off. So the first process takes 3 days, the second process takes 5 days, and it's simply with the help of a business analyst. Okay, and there's so many things that a business analyst can also work in companies as a process automation person, as a business process analyst, as an IT business analyst, as a requirements engineer, as a product reliability engineer. So these are different roles that a business analyst can actually fit into. And what are the skills that you need to learn for you to be able to function on this role 100%? One is Excel, Power BI, and SQL. Excel, Power BI, and SQL. So these are data tools. But for you to be able to effectively work as a business analyst, you need to have understanding of data. Okay, it will not be as in-depth as a data analyst is going to learn them, but you need that knowledge for you to also be able to be functionable as a business analyst. Then you also work through process mapping. Okay, you understand process mapping, and then also project initiation planning and agile and scrum for projects. So these are also borrowed courses from project management. And then lastly, you see all these BA roles that you also have to get into. Software development life cycle, requirements fundamentals, illustration method, stakeholder analysis, and of course, ChatGPT for business analysis. So we are going to teach you all these from basic level to advanced level. Even if you have zero understanding of what it's talking about, would walk you through from the ground stage till you move up the ladder. So these are tools that you'll be learning: Excel, SQL, Power BI, Lucidchart, Draw.io, Jira, Trello, Confluence, and of course, also Azure DevOps. Then the class holds on Saturdays. We have the morning class and the evening class. The morning class is 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., which is suitable for people in Europe and also Africa, while the evening class is 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. That is suitable for people in Canada and also US. Okay, and that should be around 10 a.m. Mountain Time. All right, and the program is divided into two basic styles. All right, you have two options. We have the 8-month plan and we have the 12-month plan. So for the 8-month plan, you have 6 months immersive classroom learning all these key learning areas, and then 2 months internship working on further projects. And for the 12-month plan, you have 6 months classroom learning and then 6 months internship experience working on other projects. Now let's look at the Agile Project Manager. So the Agile Project Manager is simply a servant leader who helps the team to work effectively within Agile frameworks. Okay, so they make sure that everyone within the team that are working using Agile methodology. So they serve as leaders, as coach within the project management team. Okay, and let's also look at this example to show how a traditional project manager may function and how an APM will also function. So under project management, we'll have the waterfall and we'll also have the agile methods. Okay, so the waterfall uses a sequential process. You have to gather requirements, you have to design, you have to implement, you have to test before you deploy, and then of course your maintenance. Okay, and this can take like 7 months for it to come into fruition. But for agile project management, it works iteratively. Okay, you have your sprint planning, then continuous development and testing, frequent releases, and of course customer involvement and adaptability, which can now easily take you within a space of 1 month. For instance, let's use something like WhatsApp as an example. If WhatsApp said, okay, we need to build every single thing in the platform before we release it, then that means as at today, they won't be able to still be able to release WhatsApp, because continuously new things are coming out. The first time WhatsApp came out, there was no stories. Okay, but now we have stories. Did they wait to achieve having our stories page before they pushed it out? No. And that is what we call continuous development. So once it has met that initial requirement for them to push the product to market, it simply enters the market, and then iteratively, it is now being continuously developed. And that is what Agile fully stands for, iterative process. And as an APM, can work as a Scrum Master, as an Agile coach, as a technical Scrum Master, as a project coordinator, and so much more. Now, what are the skills that you need for you to be able to function as an APM or Scrum Master? First of all, it's having understanding of project management methodologies and structure. Then you learn the skills and how to also communicate as a PM, and also foundations of Agile and Scrum. Then you fully have understanding of the Scrum framework, the increments, the sprints, the product backlog. So you can see what we are talking about tonight is even part of what you are going to be doing as your 5th and 6th module. So you can see it might be hard for you to easily flow, but once you follow that defined career path, starting from number 1, moving to number 2, and then gradually climbing up the ladder, once we get to Jira, it's something that you can easily be able to implement. Then you also learn end-to-end use of Jira and Confluence, and of course, Kanban boards. Because sometimes something as little as Kanban boards might be what you need with respect to deploying a workflow management. You also learn how to track your team's progress using velocity charts, burn up and burn down charts to know when they are performing below par or when they are performing above what they're supposed to be doing. And of course, you learn the leadership and reward application and Nexus Skill Scrum, which is basically how you can manage multiple projects iteratively. So everything that you learn under APM will prepare you for the professional Scrum Master examination. You'll be learning tools like Confluence, tools like Jira, and also tools like Trello. Okay, so please make sure you fill the attendance form so that personally on your own, you can go through all these things that I've been talking about and identify the one that is speaking directly to you. Then the class structure is also the same with the first. On Saturdays, morning class 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time. Then the evening class 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. West African time. The learning timeline is also the same thing. 8 months for the first option and 12 months for the second option. The first 8 months option is 6 months classroom learning and then 2 months internship. And then the 12 months option is 6 months classroom learning and then 6 months internship. And what this offers you is opportunity to have 2 companies in your own CV and also your portfolio that you're able to consult with analytics and that you also intern with Amdari. And these are all 2 leading tech companies that is also domiciled in Canada and that also UK. They can leverage in your CV to boost your own viability. Okay, so this is a unique opportunity that you have with respect to having these 2 people in your own CV. Now, for you to land a job, 2 things are actually involved. Okay, the technical skills that I've mentioned alone is not the only requirements that you need to land a role. You need the technical skill and the employability skills. And these are part of things that we are going to walk you through. Okay, first is CV optimization. How do you optimize your CV for it to also scale that ATS, initial applicant tracking system? So we're going to teach you how to optimize your CV for each of the jobs that you are going for. So the mistake that and challenge that some people have is that we use one CV to apply to multiple roles. But that is the error that we make because each job has its own specifics. So you need to be able to learn how to tailor your CV to the job requirements. Next one is LinkedIn optimization. We're going to also walk you through how you can be visible on LinkedIn for recruiters to actually be able to know that you exist. Then we also have how to navigate the job market, where we'll bring in experts back to the classroom to walk you through the different job boards that you can be able to use with respect to landing role and also interview preparatory sessions. You've landed an interview, you need someone to prepare you for those interviews. You can book a session with us and we can easily prepare you for the interview ahead. And then we also have the job reference and recommendation letter where you're already on a job and the recruiter, the company is asking you for a reference letter. We are also available to provide it for you. And on the job support, that you're on a roll and you still find some things challenging, can also support you till you're able to find your fitting. And of course, weekly mentorship session. Like I said earlier, this is very, very crucial to your success in the tech industry. And if you want to also play in the contractual service role, we'll also walk you through Upwork optimization, where you can be able to use Upwork to do contractual project offerings, $50 here, $20 here, $100 here, and gradually you are building up your own portfolio as well. So these are things that we do to make sure that you move from our classroom into landing your own role. And all these are all success stories of people that have been able to make all these moves. So please ensure that you fill the attendance form so that you can have access to the slide and personally go through all these success stories of people that have been able to make this switch. Your own story can be the next. And if you give us the permission, your face will also be the next person that we'll have on this slide. So all these are all success stories of people that have been able to make all this switch. In fact, I think this week on Monday, someone messaged us, oh, I got a role. And we are all rejoicing because that is what we live for. We are all happy when people that have passed through our program are able to get roles. Last year, we had 355 people, around 355 people moved from our classroom into landing a role just last year. Okay, and your own story can also be the next. So this is also a slide where our past students came to a discussion like this to be the ones talking to people. So when you get the slide, you can click there to watch directly what these past students had to say about us. So all these are what we do to be able to give back to the society. Last year also, we got into our Better Capitalizer program for us to also learn how to be able to scale more and be able to help more Black people into breaking into the tech industry. If we're able to help 350 people last year, our target this year is simple. We need to double that figure. It means that we need to be able to do 700 people moving from our classroom into landing their roles. And certification, if that is what you are also after, you are going to have a certified certificate from us from the American Council of Training and Development. So we are certified by the ACTD, okay? That's American Council of Training and Development, which your certificate is going to carry. So you have both the skill, you have the experience, and you also have the certificate to show evidence of what you've been able to learn. So what are the next steps that you need to take? Our next cohort is starting on February 8th. Okay, it's starting on February 8th, which is the first Saturday or second Saturday in February. And if you're looking to break into any of the classes, you need to be able to join our program. And for you to join, this is the step that you need to be able to take. So for the 8 months track, the 8 months track is going for it's going for $900. But currently it is discounted for the first 20 people to join the classroom. So the 8 months track is for $900, but it's currently discounted to $750 for the first 20 people to join the classroom, which means you get to save $150. And you have the option to pay instrumentally $150 every month for 5 months, okay, for you to be able to secure the 8 month plan. Then for the 12 month plan, which is $1,200, currently discounted to $1,000, which means you have the option to save $200, okay, if you're amongst the first 20 people to join those classrooms. And you have the option to break your payments into installments up to 8 months, which allows you to pay $125 per month till you finish your own payments. For you to register, it is simple. Just click on the main stack link that my colleague will also drop in the comment section. All right. So once you click on it, it's going to bring you to this main stack enrollment center. Okay. Once you come to the main stack enrollment center, scroll down and look for the program that you want to register for. Okay. For instance, I'm here and I want to join the Agile Project Management. If you scroll down, you're going to see our training calendar and the courses that we offer. I can see business analysis, but that's not the one I want. I want Agile Project Management. If I scroll down, I can see the Agile Project Management. I want to go for the 12-month program. If I click on APM 12 months, it's going to bring me to the page where I can make my instrumental selections. So no matter the country that you are joining us from, you have the option to select and make your payments from the currency of that country. Okay, which means if you're in UK, you can make payments using pounds. If you're in US, you can make payments using USD. If you're in Canada, you can make payments using card. So the platform picks your geolocation and gives you the payments in the currency of your own location. As you can see, that only 18 seats are available right now. So if you want to go for the 12 months program, you can see that you have the option to select that you want to make your payments instrumentally for 8 months, which allows you to make payments $125 every month. But for any of the program that you decide to go for, if you decide to make a one-time payment or if you decide to make payments 2 months, you have the option to save extra $50 for yourself. I'm sure you agree with me, the net present value of money. $1,000 at hand today is better than $1,000 that you're going to get by October or thereabouts. So that's why people that pay off one-off or people that pay in 2 installments get to also save extra $50. But let me show you an example using the 12 months instrumental plan. Once you click on it and click on secure your seat, it's going to bring you here showing that your first payment is due today. The next one is due by February 16, next one by March 16, other one April 16, and just like that till the ending of that 8 month track. Once you click on proceed and fill in your details, you instantly pay for the product using any of your credit cards. So this is the easiest way for you to secure your spot. And like I mentioned, you can make payments using any currency from any location of the world that you are in. All right, so once you are done with that, go back to the main stack link and scroll up again for you to now be able to upload your receipts. Once you upload your receipts, someone from our team will now reach out to you to welcome you to 10Analytics. I hope at this stage, I've been able to walk everyone through how you can be able to secure your spots and be part of the success story. The 700 people that we're targeting this year to help move from our classroom into a tech role before 31st of December 2025. Your own story can be the next, but it starts with registration. It starts with learning the skill and getting the experience for you to be able to break into this career path. I don't know if at this point there's any question that you want me to handle. Please feel free to use the raise hand icon or drop it in the comment section, and I'm going to answer that question in the next 5 minutes, and then we are going to round up. Any question from anyone, use the raise hand icon, and I'll call you up to speak, or you can drop it in the comment section, and I'll pick it up from there and answer it for you. Okay, I think there is no question from anyone. I can't see anyone. Okay, I think Enema, your hand is up. Hi, Enema Asen. I've asked you to unmute. Please go ahead and ask your question, Asen. Hello, Asen. Please look at your screen. All right, please go ahead now.
Yeah, hello, good evening. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, Asen.
Okay, yeah, my name is Asukwa Enema.
Yes, good evening. I can hear you loud and clear. Please go ahead with your own question.
Okay, my name is Asukwa Enema. I have joined, I joined 10 Analytics in October 2023, and I was doing financial analytics. Okay, so I just want to give a kind of a review of my own personal experience. First of all, I would say 10 Analytics is a great company in terms of training, or is a great training company in terms of impacting knowledge and helping people to key into tech. However, I would like to make a few suggestions based on my own experience. Okay. First of all, I would like to say that there are people who enroll in this program. Maybe for one reason or the other, they were unable to meet up with the pace of the training. So because of this, they were left out. They were neither completed the program or receiving a certificate. Fine. It is, the 10 Analytics prefer skill over certification, which is fantastic. So you must get the skill before you start talking about certification. So my point is, these people who are unable to complete the program or to follow up with the peaks of the program should be moved to the next set, as long as they have made all the payment complete. So they should move to the next set so that they can follow up and fit into those areas which they were unable to complete in their own set. It's just my own suggestion.
Yeah, I agree with you, Asen. I mean, your suggestion is fantastic. Right? Your suggestion is very, very fantastic. All right. And thank you so much for giving us that feedback. But ideally, what we also do is simple. All right. For all your classes, all the session, everything that you are going through, they are always recorded for you and uploaded to your classroom. Okay. They're always recorded for you and uploaded to your classroom. And that is, if you want to go through the recording, or if you miss out on any class, the ideal thing is now for you to go to the recorded version, watch it, and then come back to us and ask us constructive questions. All right? Come back to us and ask us constructive questions, and we are going to answer it for you. For instance, you did financial analysis. Let's say that, oh, you passed through Excel, Power BI, SQL, moved to financial modeling, and maybe under financial statements, you missed out on a couple of classes. All right? The ideal thing is for you to now go through the recorded version of the class, and then we'll have drop-in sessions for you. So you know how the program runs. You have your live classes every Saturday. Now, within the week, we have drop-in sessions where you are having challenges over the weekend. Okay, you come into the drop-in session for those questions to be answered for you. And then you can now ask as much as you want, and you have like a revision class of what happened before. Okay, and these are things that we put into place to make sure that we carry everyone along. Now, there are people that will still be adults. There are people that will say, oh, I missed class. I want to move at my own pace. I missed class. I want to move at my own pace. If you move that Mr. A to Mr. B class, there is no guarantee that he's going to also follow with what they are doing, because it's still the same trend of things, right? What we taught to people before is what we are teaching to the next people. If there is now improvements, that's where we optimize our curriculum. And the changes are also happening there. For instance, if you joined our program as at 2023, that is a long years ago. Okay, our program as at then should be around 150,000 naira. Right now, our program is $900. So it doesn't also make business sense, and it's not right to the people making payments now that you are moving someone from 2023 to 2024 to 2025 until they learn what they want to learn. If you go to school right now, maybe any university, and you've passed through your first semester, second semester, you fell off. If you come back, the expectation is that you are going to join the next class and make payments to grow with them, and not just be moved to the next section. Okay, so if you want to, I want to join the next class for me to go on with them, you have the option to do that by making registration for that set. But because we don't want anybody to make another payment, we've taught you, we've recorded everything for you. We have all of them in your classroom for you to assess them. And if you now have any question, you can come back to us and we'll still solve all those challenges that you have. Okay? And that is the way that we make it possible for people to always move on from one step to the other. It's just like you finished university, and because you dropped out in year one, you're coming back 2 years later and said, oh, I want to join the next set to move on. If you want to join the next set, it's simple. You have to register, pay for all those missed courses, register your course, and then drive on with them. So it's also the same process. If you want to join any next set with us, you can register for that set and move on with what they are learning. But because we know that it is not ideal for you to keep making payments, that's why we record the session, for you to go back to it and be able to have a recorded version of everything that happened in the class and understand, for you to now move on with them. Okay. Thank you so much, Accees and Emma. I think there is a question in the comment section from Chooks. Observation: the Zoom platform is really not stable for connecting, and can we use other platforms for meeting? Fantastic recommendation there, Chooks. For our own platform, we make use of Zoom, and it is moving seamlessly from here. All right. By virtue of network, from anyone, it can always trip off. For instance, if you're having network challenges, even if you move to Microsoft Teams, or we move to Google Meet, or we move to Zoho Meet, the network will still disturb there. So ideally, it is also recorded, because these are challenges that people will definitely face. Oh, I'm having network challenges, I was not able to join the classes. The sessions are always recorded, that for you to now go back to it and watch the recorded version of everything that transpired. If you now have question, can now come back to us, and then we can also answer the question fully for you. Lynn is asking, please, do you offer business analytics? Because from your explanation, I understand that you offer business analysis and not analytics. Fantastic question, Lynn. So for people that don't understand what Lynn is talking about, for business analysis is simply improving business processes by virtue of business analysis itself, like things like SWOT analysis, stakeholder analysis, RACI metrics, for you to be able to use it to improve the business. But when you start infusing data into making all those business improvements, that is business analytics, right? That is business analytics. So what we offer fully is business analysis lane, but you also stand to learn Excel, Power BI, and SQL. So when you learn Excel, Power BI, and SQL, these are also data tools that you can also easily be able to leverage with respect to using them to make business decisions. Okay, so you're learning those data tools, and you're also learning business analysis tools. Okay, I don't know if that makes sense to you now, Lane. How do you break into PM in a field or sector you don't have a degree, knowledge, or experience in? Fantastic question. I'm sure that if we ask Moses whether he studied project management in school, I don't know what the answer is going to be, but I've met a lot of people in the project management field without a degree in that area. I studied civil engineering. For instance, I studied civil engineering. I broke into data analytics, into GRC cybersecurity, into what's it called, project management, and so many areas. But what I studied is civil engineering. So it's simple. You just need to get the skill and get the experience. Once you get the skill and get the experience, these are things that recruiters are looking out for. So if you started this program with us, I started with a quote or a tweet that the richest man in the world dropped yesterday. What he said is simple, all right? And read with me, Suleiman. If you are a hardcore software engineer and want to build the everything app, please join us by sending your best work to code@x.com. We don't care where you went to school or even whether you went to school or what big name company you worked at. Just show us your code. And this is simple. This is showing you the direction that the world is tilting towards. Just show us your code. So what Elon is saying is this: even if you didn't go to school, he doesn't even care the big name of the school that you've worked or the big name of the company that you've worked in, so far as you can be able to show skill and the experience of something you've done in the past, send it to him and they're going to consider you. And this is to show you that the era of certification is coming to an end. Nobody cares about all those things. It's simply show your skills and also your experience. I hope someone right on this call has been able to learn something, because we are about to round up for tonight. Like I mentioned, please ensure you fill the attendance form so that you can have access to the recorded version of this conversation and also have access to the slide that we are using for this conversation. Okay, once you fill it, you have access to everything that we have discussed for tonight, and you are going to, on your own, go through it, watch the success stories of people before you, and be able to see how and what they did before they were able to also break into the tech industry. So all these things that you're seeing here, they are all success stories of people that we are not going to touch base with tonight because it is a lot. But on your own, can go through it and then see what they had to say. These are also places that people, our past students, also work in. I always tell people that our highest employer of labor is NHS in UK. And that's because they always offer visa sponsorships. Okay. And you also can also be a practical of some of these things. And all these other pages are some of the impacts that we've been able to do last year's. 2023, someone went home with $1,000 in our hackathon program. Last year, people also went home with $2,000 with respect to our program. And these are things that you also get to enjoy when you join our program. Then these are also success stories of people that have been able to move from our classroom into landing their first roles as well. So thank you so much to everyone for being with us for close to 2 hours, 30 minutes non-stop. And like I always tell everyone that cares to listen, the best time to get tech education is yesterday. The next best time is right now. Oluwatobi Ogunfuye said you're trying to make payments, but you're not able to. Oluwatobi Ogunfuye. So please, if you fill the attendance form, we are going to get your details there. Oluwafemi, please confirm if you filled it so that someone from our team can reach out to you after this call to walk you through any of the challenges that you are having. Oluwatobi, are you there? Ogunfuye. Okay, yes, okay. All right, someone from our team will reach out to you with respect to walking you through how to personally make the payments. Okay, just to confirm, is lecture once in a month? That's Stephen. No, Stephen, the classes is every Saturday. So the model is simple. You have a live class this Saturday, all right? And then next Saturday, you have a self-paced video for you to now watch also. Then upper Saturday, you're having a live class. And in between all these things, you have a drop-in session that someone is checking on you and having a group discussion to know how you are faring and if you're having challenges anywhere, okay? And to know if you're having challenges from anywhere. It's Michael from the last class. That's Oluwatobi Ogunfuye. Do you mind dropping your full name so that I can be sure that we have the right person that we're reaching out to? Michael who? Michael who? So that I'll be sure that we are reaching out to the right person after this call. Please just type in your name in the comment section so that after this call, someone from our team, Oluwafemi Michael Okusanwo, Okay, thank you so much, Lua, Femi, Michael, Samu. All right, thank you so much for that. After this conversation, someone from our team will reach out to you respect to walking you through all these things. Okay, like I've said also, if you are ready to break into the tech career path, now is the time. Tomorrow, it might be too late. People that started our courses last year, they joined with around $600. People that are starting this January, theirs is already $750. So if you keep procrastinating it, there's tendency that the pricing will never be the same. On behalf of my founder, Adeza Suleiman, and also my co-founder, Efemina Ipo, I say a very big thank you to everyone that have been with us since 8 p.m. West African time to roughly 10:30 West African time right now. I can't wait to see each and every one of you come February 8th in any of our program. Thank you so much once more, and cheers and bye for now. Guys, bye.